Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Thank you. We'll get started in just a minute. All right. It is the top of the hour, so we'll go ahead and get started. I have shared my screen. Do you guys see a screen that says 2025 open enrollment?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Well, as you know, today is our town hall. This is going to be recorded and sent out for those that were not able to make it, but we are going to be discussing some of the highlights and changes to our benefits this year. There are some things that are staying the same. So for time's sake, I will kind of brush over those and really focus in on what is changing. Firstly, you see the dates here at the bottom. Open enrollment did start Monday, October 28th. It does go through November 12th. Please try to do it as early as you feel comfortable. I don't advise waiting till the last minute. Things do happen. Our systems have been running smoothly, but things do happen. So give us that time to jump in and help you if we can. There we go. This is an active enrollment. It was last year as well, so this should not be new, but this means that you must enroll in order to have benefits for 2025. Your benefits will not carry over, so you must make elections if you want to have benefits. And like I said, please do this by November 12th. So a few big things changing this year. One is that we are going back to Blue Cross Blue Shield for our medical carrier. We did switch to Cigna, and we heard feedback that the rural communities were having trouble finding network providers. People weren't quite as happy with that network. So we took that feedback into account, and we have moved back to Blue Cross Blue Shield. So we're very excited about that for this year. Another carrier change here is that we will be replacing Lincoln Financial. Every benefit we have through Lincoln Financial will now be through Mutual of Omaha. Those plans are very close, pretty much the same, but they're going to be through Mutual of Omaha. They have great customer service. So if you end up interacting with them at all, I think you're going to be very pleased with that switch. Lastly, we have switched off of Tax Saver for FSA, HSA, and our COBRA coverage to HSA Bank. And so your HSA accounts, those debit cards, those are all going to be issued by HSA Bank. And then if you were to leave the company or lose coverage for any reason, you would get a COBRA notice from HSA Bank rather than Tax Saver if that applies. A few other changes, the IRS maximum has increased for an FSA to 3,300, and it has increased for an HSA to 4,300. So those are changes that you will see this year as well. And then lastly, we've got two exciting new programs. One of them we implemented last year, that's the pharmacy benefit. And then one is the surgery benefit that is new this year. So we're going to talk about those at the end.
What about ASC?
I'm sorry?
It is lunch right now.
Hey, Nadine,
No?
would you mind muting yourself?
Sorry.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I will hold questions till the end. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Here on the screen, we've got instructions for how to enroll. I won't focus on this because this was sent out as well. But please do realize that enrollment is taking place through Prism. You must log into Prism to enroll. So if you have not logged into Prism for a while, again, don't wait until the last minute to get into that to do your election. Okay, and for your benefits eligibility. So if you are full-time, you are benefits eligible. And then we have a few part-timers that do work more than 30 hours a week that are eligible. If that is you, you have been contacted. And if you believe that you are benefits eligible but have not been contacted, go ahead and email me at hrbenefits@empowersbc.com. Let me know and we can look into that. For your dependents, so obviously if you are benefits eligible, you can be on your insurance, also your legal spouse. Children under the age of 26, whether they're a married student, doesn't matter. They're under 26, they can be on your insurance. And then children over the age of 26, if they are on your tax return labeled as fully dependent on you due to a disability. So it's very important to make sure that you really look into your elections, know what you're choosing, because you are stuck with them. So that whatever elections you make during this open enrollment period will be in effect for the entirety of 2025, unless you were to leave the company or lose your benefits eligibility status, or if one of these life event applies. So marriage, divorce, loss of spouse coverage, gain of other coverage, things like that, that would allow you to make changes outside of this open enrollment period. But if those don't apply, then you will be stuck with your election. So please choose carefully and ask questions as you elect. So jumping into medical, the biggest change this year is that we did see that we switched to Blue Cross Blue Shield. So that's the biggest change this year. I do want to mention that we did find an error on this, that the telemedicine is actually no longer $0 coverage on the HSA 5000. This will be deductible plus co-insurance, and that updated slide and benefits guide will be sent out. So please be aware of that. If you have elected that, you still have time to change if that's what you would like to do. Other than that exception, all of these plans are going to be the same. So you'll find that, you know, if you really chose carefully last year and looked into it, you may want to stay with the same plan. You'll see a little bit difference in the rates. Some of them have gone up a little bit. Some of them have gone down a little bit. Some of them stayed the same. So please just be aware of what you are electing. And what you'll find is that in PRISM, when you elect, you're going to see that final cost at the very bottom, and that's going to be what you are deducted. So please make sure you're paying extra attention to that so that you are aware of what will come out of your paycheck. Because again, once we're out of this open enrollment period, you won't be able to make changes. So this is the pharmacy coverage and the rates, which you're also going to see reflected in your benefits guide. Okay, and then the last thing here is just a little bit about understanding how to choose a medical plan. So we've got some information on here about your deductible and your co-insurance and your out-of-pocket maximum, what those mean. I'm actually not going to go into those today because what I've done is I have created a video explaining all of those things, and that's that QR code right there. It was also sent out in an email on Monday with all of the open enrollment information. So if you are unsure about how to choose your medical plan and really understanding that terminology, because it can be confusing, you can go ahead and watch that video. And then if you have any questions after that, please email me. I want you to understand what you're electing. And then also being aware that if you are seeking care, especially if you're on that HSA plan, it's going to make a difference where you seek care. So your cost is not going to be the same everywhere you go. So for example, if you are on a PPO medical plan, if you go to a doctor, you're going to have a copay. But if you were to do a telemedicine visit, that's going to be at $0 to you. So you're going to save money if you seek different type of care. Now, you always want to seek the appropriate level of care. But for example, you would not want to go to the emergency room for a cough or a cold, you know, your average kind of illness there, when you can go to a primary care physician who can help cover that for you, especially if you're on that HSA plan where you have to meet your deductible before your co-insurance kicks in. It really pays to be a smart consumer. So keep those things in mind. And again, I'm always here to assist, not just during open enrollment. My email is open year round, so please always ask questions. And so jumping into dental, we're going to go through this pretty quickly because you may have noticed we are staying with Delta Dental this year. So these are going to be the exact same plans as last year. No changes, no change in rates, everything's the same. We've got your base plan, we've got your buy-up plan with a little bit more comprehensive coverage. If you're someone who really uses your dental coverage more, that can be beneficial for you. So again, same as last year, Delta Dental, it's great coverage. We're really happy with their network, with their customer service, so we have stayed with them. If you have not explored their website, they do have a website. They have an app, they have some discounts that you can get. And so I highly recommend that you go into their website or their app, create an account, log in, and then that's also where you can access a virtual ID card. So if you were to ever not have your ID card with you, you have it on your phone, which is fantastic. If you do elect Delta Dental coverage, you will get an ID card mailed out. Same with the medical, you'll get a Blue Cross Blue Shield card mailed out. So if you elect during open enrollment and it comes to the first year and you do not have an ID card for those, please let me know. I can get you a virtual ID card. You can log in and get a virtual ID card. We'll make sure you have access to your benefits to elected. Jumping into vision, this is going to be a similar situation where we have stayed with VSP Vision Care. We were very happy with their customer service, with their network, great plans. Last year, for the first time, we did change to 2 plans offered for vision, a base and a buy-up, and we heard a lot of great feedback on that. So we have stayed with that. I get a lot of questions about what's the difference. Other than a few minor differences like the elective allowance for contacts, the biggest difference is that buy-up plan allows for you to get glasses and contacts in the same year. So if that is you, heavily consider that plan. It may really pay off for you. But that's really the biggest difference between those. So again, not going to focus on this too much. It is the same as last year. And similar to Delta Dental, VSP does have a website, vsp.com. They've got an app. You can log in, you can find a doctor or an optometrist who is within your network with VSP. They have a really wide network, so it's not particularly difficult to find an in-network doctor, but that is there to assist you. I do want to mention that there are no vision ID cards. So I get a lot of questions saying, hey, I elected vision and I have not received my ID card in the mail. That is okay because there actually isn't one. You do not have to have an ID card. When you go to an optometrist, they will ask you if you have vision insurance. You tell them I have VSP, and then they will ask for your last name and social security number to verify that benefit. So there's no ID card that you have to present to them. Okay, moving forward, we're going to move on to some of our ancillary benefits. These were all previously covered under Lincoln Financial Group, and now we are switching to Mutual of Omaha. But like I mentioned, what you will see is that these plans are very, very similar, nearly identical. And I'll point out the differences in these plans. So first of all, we do have the employer paid basic life. And this is something that your employer pays for. You do not contribute to this at all. If you are benefits eligible, if you are full-time, you just get this benefit, which is lovely. Change here is that we actually increase the maximum. So it is 1 times your basic annual earnings. It used to be up to 200,000. Now it is up to 300,000. So that is enhanced coverage for you. You've also got your voluntary life. You may also hear this referred to as supplemental life insurance. So this is something where you said, hey, that employer paid group term life is not enough coverage for me. I really want to be more protected than that. And so you elect supplemental or voluntary life to go on top of that. And that is that extra life insurance that you pay for. And so that can be elected for you. You can also elect that for your spouse and for your child. One difference here is that for your spouse, it used to be up to 50% of the employee's benefit amount. So if you had $100,000 for you, you could only have 50 for your spouse. And now that can actually be up to 100% of the employee benefit amount. So again, we're offering enhanced coverage that you can elect. And then you can elect for your child as well if you would like to do so. And this is the rate table. You're going to see all of these in the benefits guide. So I'm just going to kind of skip over these, but just realize that these are based on your age. So you will see a higher rate based on a higher age. So make sure that when you look at these rate tables, this is the cost per $1,000 of benefit, that you are checking that age. What is nice is that when you elect this in Prism, it's going to calculate all that for you. So what you can do is we have your age in the system, obviously. You will type in how much coverage you want, and it's going to tell you what it costs. So if you did that, you said, I want $100,000, you said, you know what, that's actually more than I want to pay. You can go ahead and lower that and say, let's just do 60,000 and then say, yep, I'm happier with that cost. So it will calculate it for you. Mutual of Omaha also offers disability insurance. So this is your short-term and long-term disability. I do want to point out a few things about how disability works. And this has not changed from last year, but those are concepts that are often misunderstood. So things I just want to highlight really quickly. First of all, with short-term disability, there is a 14-day elimination period, which means that you will not be paid on that benefit for the first 14 days that you were absent from work. What people typically do is they use their PTO during that time. So, which is fine and is standard for a policy, but it is something you want to be aware of in your PTO planning, your financial planning. Short-term disability will then kick in for the next 11 weeks, up to 11 weeks that you are absent. You'll be paid at 60% of your earnings, up to $2,500 a week. And then if you are absent for more than 90 days, that's when that long-term disability coverage kicks in. So some people think, well, I don't need to have both short-term and long-term disability, and you don't have to, but realize that they are different. They are both disability coverage, but they are different based on how long you are out. Because that long-term disability doesn't kick in until you are out for 3 months. And that long-term disability also has two plan options. One is a base plan, which will pay a benefit up to 5 years, and the buy-up plan, which will pay a benefit up to Social Security normal retirement age, or until you are no longer disabled. So look into those if you are interested. Last thing I want to mention on disability is the pre-existing limitation. So this is standard for all policies, but essentially if you have a condition that you are treated for within the 3 months prior to electing coverage, they will not pay on that disability. So where does this come up a lot is with a pregnancy and maternity leave. So if you elect coverage when you are already pregnant and have been seen for your pregnancy, they will not actually cover that leave for your maternity leave. So very standard. I just want to make everybody aware of that. So if you are in the stages of family planning, now is a great time to elect that disability coverage. Okay, the last two coverages are accident insurance and critical illness. The biggest questions I get on these is really like, what are they? What do they cover? They are different. So accident insurance, without the risk of sounding repetitive, it is literally for accidents. So these are not illnesses. These are not long-term things. These are accidents. So emergency room visits, you were in a car wreck unexpectedly, that would be accident insurance. Fractures, dislocations, hospital stays, things like that would be covered by accident insurance. Critical illness is different. These are like internal illnesses, heart attack, stroke, MS, Alzheimer's disease. That's going to be your critical illness side. So you can elect one, the other, neither, both. They are different. Okay, so that covers those ancillary benefits. I want to move in to our health savings account, our HSA, and our flexible spending account, the FSA. As I mentioned, we are switching out of the off of Tax Saver and into HSA Bank. I think you guys are going to be really pleased with HSA Bank. We've had a great experience with them so far, so we're really excited to make that switch. If you are sitting here and thinking, what is an HSA? That's totally okay. I actually made a video for you. It explains what an HSA is, why you might want an HSA, who is eligible for an HSA. So that was sent out Monday in that playlist of videos in that open enrollment information email. So please go look at that. But to summarize really quickly, you are eligible to have a health savings account if you are on the HSA 5000 medical plan. Those are the only people that can have an HSA through us. You can contribute your own money to that HSA, which is on a pre-tax basis. And whether you do that or not, the company will actually contribute money for you. So if you're on an employee-only medical plan, you will get $500 a year. Employee and spouse, or employee and children, $750 a year. And if the whole family's on the plan, you get $1,000 a year. This is split up per payroll, so you won't see that money all at once in a lump sum at the beginning of the year, but you'll have it per paycheck. And what you can use that money for is really any eligible healthcare expenses. So that can be medical, dental, vision, prescription drugs. All of those things are eligible for HSA dollars to be spent on. And then how that works is that basically when you sign up with HSA Bank, they will issue you a debit card and you can just charge that debit card for those expenses. If they're really large expenses, you may be asked to submit a receipt to substantiate that claim. But other than that, it's very simple. If you currently have an HSA account with TaxSaver, what we're going to do is we're going to send out an email with information after open enrollment about how you can move that HSA into HSA Bank, because I understand it would be really cumbersome to have two HSA accounts. So you can move that over. And then if you already have an account with HSA Bank, perhaps through a previous employer, we can combine those accounts. And so we can give you more information on that if you are interested. But do be aware, HSA is a great benefit because that money is yours. You don't lose it. If you leave the employer and move to Timbuktu, that money is still yours. It rolls over year to year, you don't lose it. So that's a wonderful benefit if you are on that HSA 5000 plan. Okay, and then flexible spending accounts. This is a little different from an HSA because this money actually does not roll over year to year. You do have a grace period to use that money, but it does not roll over year to year. Anybody can have an FSA if you are benefits eligible. So you do not have to be on a medical plan to have an FSA. Why would you want one? Essentially, you're using your pre-tax dollars, a deduction that comes straight out of your paycheck to pay for healthcare expenses. So if you already know that you're going to be spending that money for healthcare expenses, then why would you be taxed on it? That's kind of the rationale there. But that is also going to be through HSA Bank. So do be aware of those communications from them. Okay, the last two things I want to cover today, and we're going to have plenty of time for questions, which is great, is the Affirmed RX pharmacy benefit. You may also see this as the MC or Mark Cuban Cost Plus Drug Company benefit. This is something that we added last year, and it is highly underutilized, even though it's a really wonderful benefit for those PPO medical plan members. And the gist of this program is that if you're on a regular generic medication and you're on a PPO medical plan, you can get that medication for free if they carry it. And they carry a ton of medications. So this is a great benefit. They basically skip the middleman of the, going to Walmart or Walgreens to get your prescription filled, and they just mail it to you. They ship it to your house, and it's a reduced cost to them. And then us, as the employer, actually covers that cost. So it is free medication. So that's wonderful. This QR code will take you to a video that kind of explains that and how to get started. Or you can go to costplusdrugs.com and create an account. Again, if you have questions about this or issues signing up, please do let me know. You do have to create an account and get signed up. And then once you're signed up and you're reordering that medication, it's extremely simple. So that is a wonderful benefit. And then the last thing I want to mention is this KISX surgery benefit through Valence Health. This is a new benefit that we are adding this year. So we have heard feedback from a lot of employees that a lot of their medical costs are coming from surgeries and procedures. And so what we've done is we have tried to find a way to get that to you at a reduced cost or for free. And so how this works is essentially you're going to your doctor, you're told that you have to have a surgery or a procedure. And then before you go to do that procedure or schedule it, you actually give them a call at the number on the screen. And this is in the benefits guide as well. And they connect you with a nurse navigator or coordinator who finds another facility. It could be the same facility, maybe different, but they find someone near you. And if it's not near you, they will actually pay for the travel. So they find someone hopefully close to you, and then they give you a voucher to present the day of your procedure called a KISX card, as in keep it simple. And then you will receive the procedure at no cost. The only exception to this is that those HSA plan members, they do require first dollar coverage from the patient, meaning that you would have to pay that $1,650, which you guys have, if you've been exposed to surgery costs, that's probably significantly less than the cost of the surgery. But either way, this is a really wonderful benefit. It would be completely free to those PPO plan members. So that was actually all I wanted to cover for today. If you have tuned me out, that's okay. I want you to come back in and just look at the screen because that is the email address that you can get all of your questions answered. Please don't hesitate to ask. I really am here to help you, and I can answer any questions you have. So we do have time now. We've got plenty of time. So if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to open the floor to those.
Rachel, what is the mail-in script company for the employees who take the HSA? Is there one?
A mail-in script, as in like a pharmacy script.
Yes, sorry.
A mail-in script. There will be one through Blue Cross Blue Shield. I think what you're referring to is there was one through Cigna that was like a specialty pharmacy, but they could deliver to your door. There is one through Blue Cross as well, but I will have to get more information on that. But that is a great point that you bring up. So I can get you more information on that as we get rolling with Blue Cross.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Any other questions? Last call. Okay. Well, if there are no other questions, I will go ahead and end it here, short and sweet. And if you guys have any questions that you think of later, please do let me know. I hope everyone has a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.